Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Arr. Hello, Dave. Welcome, greeting, salutation. 1 and 1. Right, let's clear some gunk off the desk onto myself. How are we all? Hope you all had good weeks. Things have been going well. Not been too carnage-tastic, given the lead up to that day that's happening now, and all the shops will be going absolutely mental with people buying all the things they think they need and a lot of things they don't need. And those two categories aren't separate. But what if such and such comes around to visit? Then we'll need to have this bottle of booze so they can have what they like. So you're going to buy the entire bottle just so Aunt Mabel can have one Archers and lemonade. Bear in mind, Aunt Mabel's probably got a drive, or isn't exactly an alcoholic. Get things unstuck. Anyway, yes, we're here. We're back again. Another Sunday up in the cave. Working on a kingfisher, which I just started. I don't know if it's a European or a British kingfisher, but it's the kingfishers we have in the UK anyway. Not that many people actually see them. Most people will just see the electric blue flash go past if they do see the kingfisher at all. Beautiful little birdies. One of the, I would call a large small bird. They're not the size of a blackbird or a thrush. They're smaller than that, but they're bigger than a sparrow. Not much bigger. And considering they're predatory, they do quite well for themselves. But obviously their colours mean they aren't exactly very well camouflaged. But yeah, very pretty birdies. I've seen them a few times, or more than a few. But there we go. That should be enough puff to keep you going for a bit. Have a quick swig. And get to dabbing. Ooh. So yeah, been a week. Thankfully a fairly uneventful week. I do like those weeks. Not a lot going on at home. Not a lot going on at work. And seems to be even less going on at work. Because it's that time of year when we die off entirely at work. We have nothing to do because we have no customers. And we're doing shorter hours the shop's open for fewer hours. So we've got more people in with less to do. I'm actually tempted to take a diamond painting or something in with me. Just to relieve the boredom slightly. Probably wouldn't go down well if I start setting up to actually do a diamond painting. Especially if one of the higher up bosses comes around, which they do from time to time. especially this time of year. We're overdue a visit from the boss's boss. Six. Yeah, this is how it is. Sammy, darling. Yeah, this is how it goes at the start of a diamond painting. It's the either labelling the shot cups or the bags or whatever you're doing. Say skeletal or skeletal. First one or the second one? You know, you don't have to try and make me say things to drop the T's. I drop the T's anyway. It's just my accent. All right. I've got one for you. Spell Haysborough. It's a place name. And you ain't going to believe me. Not quite as bad as somewhere like Cossey, but I will admit Haysborough is one of those places that even most Brits don't know how to pronounce from how it's spelled. British pronunciation of skeletal. Yeah, weirdly, it's Skeletor. Phasmine. Haysborough. Yeah. There's literally no one who's either not been there or lived a long time in this county that's going to know how to spell it. The American pronunciation would probably be Happisborough. R15. It always seems to be the case at the very first row you get to when you start a diamond painting, you seem to need every single colour for it. Then you get to the second row and you'll need about 3 of them usually, but probably not in this case. This may only be a 30 by 30, but I think there's going to be a lot of confetti. A lot of random colours rather than colour blocks, aside from the ridiculous amounts of black. All the other bags kind of look like this. Then there's the black. Hey, it just does mean that there's a break from all these fiddly faffy little bits. You get to plough a whole bunch on all at once. There's far more of these R's than I thought there were. It's just P, V, and J next. Dum 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 dum. So yes, what's been going on this week? So this week's news. Well, even if I wanted to visit the States, I now can't. Given the changes that a certain orange buffoon that claimed himself to be a stable genius, but is in fact an unstable, senile old fart. You can try to sue me for that because you've got to prove you're not. Good luck with proving you're not. Yeah. So basically, it's something like they're going to about the drive. So basically, what they're going to do is they're going to go back through 5 years of your not internet history or social media. Right, to decide whether you're the kind of person they want in the country, which basically means if you said anything negative about Herr Trumpenführer or shared a meme about him or have anything but ultra right wing views, you ain't getting in. Congratulations on completely destroying the tourism trade, Donald. We shall see how long that lasts. About the drive, we don't have to take 3 cognitive tests. No. And I also wouldn't have said they were tricky tests either, because, you know, they aren't. Although he probably thinks they're some kind of genius test that only super smart people can pass. So, no, only absolute morons, idiots, and the senile demented can't pass them. That's kind of why they're there. But never mind. It's not the flex he thinks it is. No, it's not. I've passed 3 cognitive ability tests this year. You do realise most people don't take one because there's no need. You only need to take one if it's thought that you're starting to go doolally. And you don't really need any more proof than what he says, does, and posts, really, to be honest. Yeah. And he's been told no to the ballroom, so that's funny. That's several, however many millions of taxpayers' money thrown down the bin. All because someone didn't bother to get the planning permission or whatever it's called in the States and the clearance first. Just thought, I'm the president, I can do whatever I want. No, you can't. Not with a national historic landmark. It's like the HOAs who cut down. Yeah, they made me test to see if I had dementia 3 times this year, is what he's saying. Yeah. He thinks it's a good thing that he passed it. In fact, this had to take it 3 times, so he barely passed it. The last 2 times. So L will be 9. Yeah. There's 3 different desks you have. I had the Resolute desk as well. I mean the place that was what was once a beautiful hotel and is basically now just a completely tacky, tasteless brothel. Um, Because trust me on this, gold plating everything, putting your name on everything does not make it tasteful, classy, whatever he thinks it does. It makes it pure tacky. Maybe someone should convince him he can fly, and he might try and paraglide off the top of the Trump Tower. But yeah. I was waiting on him to have his White House Republican version of the Dream from Christmas Carol, right? Instead of the ghosts of past, future, and present, he gets visited by ghosts of all the previous Republican presidents, and they all tell him exactly what they think and tell him exactly what he's done wrong, which is everything, really. Existing is probably the main one. But anyway. I think that's probably enough about the walking bottle of Orangina. Speaking of which, turns out our Fanta is a completely different colour to your Fanta. And it tastes different to American Fanta as well. Unsurprisingly there, but it turns out that some of the people who reacted to it were confused by the fact that it actually is made out of orange juice. The colour of our Fanta is the colour of orange juice. Not something that looks like it was cooked up in a Soviet nuclear reactor alongside Mountain Dew. and that is the Norfolk pronunciation of dew, because I have to be a bit careful how I pronounce that word, because otherwise I might say something anti-Semitic, completely unintentionally. Why would I want to say anything that was that way? Literally, probably the most persecuted religion on the face of the planet, historically speaking. And mostly persecuted by people who believe in the two other religions that are based off of Judaism. Yeah. We've got Sammy has arrived at the DP. We will DP together. He will dog park. I will diamond paint. Yep, and then you get the Secretary of Jimbro, which, let's be honest, is actually the correct title. Old Pete Hareseth, saying that only Christians are allowed to sing Christmas carols. He does realise that basically every other religion has a holiday at that time of year, and the Christian one, Christmas, that's coming up, is stolen wholesale from what is loosely termed as the pagans. Pagan wasn't a single solitary religion, it's just a group term to encompass all the various different belief systems that were around at the time. They all celebrated winter solstice. And had their feasts. And a lot of the foods and the practices still come from them. The foods made with preserved, cakes made with preserved fruits. Yep, that comes from pagan times. The holly, the ivy, the mistletoe. Yep, they're all there for good luck or to protect the home from evil spirits. Yeah, there's a whole lot of it that comes from pre-Christian times. And the whole thing is that, Santa Claus as we know him, the fat burglar in the red suit, yeah, that's just a creation of the Coca-Cola Corporation. I'm surprised they don't actually sue other companies that use Santa in their advertising. Unless it's because the trademark's expired or it's just become such a pop culture thing. Yeah. Another one. Not one. Not one. Not one. I would say, is there anything happier we can talk about? But there's not really been an awful lot that's happened. News isn't exactly positive, is it? Oh, Sammy's cold. No. Yesterday morning, when I went to Sainsbury's to do part of my weekly food shop at about 7:15, the sun hadn't come up yet, but it was chilly, but just chilly. By the time I went down to Lidl to do the other part of my grocery shop at 9 o'clock, everywhere was frozen. Yeah, the dawn dip in full effect. There's really not that many black on this row. Oh well. What else has happened? Oh, I had some more diamond paintings turn up. All custom ones, but I can't really show you them because only one of them is one. Maybe two of the four are safe for work. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, here's that one. So yeah. But then it is winter in the UK, so we kind of expect it to start getting a bit chilly. Although there will still be people grumbling that it's cold and that they'll be acting surprised that it's cold in winter. So I know we've had some pretty mild winters the last few years, but surely people haven't forgotten. And hell, 2018 we had the Beast from the East, and that was technically in spring. That's what happens when the weather comes over from Siberia. And you get 18 inches of snow and minus 10 Celsius overnight. And then you wake up in the morning and go, oh, bugger. And you get yourself up when you go to work. and the deliveries can't get in, so you stand around like a lost lamb. So you go, you know what I'll do? I'll start clearing the snow from the walkways. And then the rest of your shift you basically spent telling people, no, no, you can't have any more milk. No, there's not any more milk coming in. No, we're not getting a delivery today. No, because you hadn't noticed there's been snow and lorries can't get through. So you just have to make do with what you got. But I need milk. Well, we all knew it was coming. It wasn't like a big surprise. It's been all over the news and the weather forecasts. So maybe, be prepared. Keep more than one day's worth of food in the house. Isn't that why people have these massive kitchens with all this storage space? So they can store more food in them? The massive freezers and fridges. No? Is that just for keeping alcohol cold? Escapee. But it needs to be fresh food. Yeah. Dried or tinned isn't going to hurt you for a day or two. Don't worry about it. But what if I don't fancy eating what I have that's dried? Well, tough. If you're hungry, you'll eat it. That's basically my outlook on that situation. If you're hungry, you eat what's in the house. If there's nothing in the house, well, then that's on you. Mikey, how you doing, brother? Oh, God. Please don't take that as cringy as it sounded. It just always sounds weird when a Brit calls someone brother. Even their actual brother. It's just cringe. Generally about the other. Only people we would call brother would be a monk. I mean, an actual, like, Franciscan monk. Yeah. From another mother, I'm sure. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking it the way it was meant. And I'm a firm believer that, they say blood is thicker than water. Nah. I'm a firm believer that you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. And there's plenty of people who do not get on with their family, me included. Well, I did see I didn't see the actual video. I saw someone reacting to the video of a British guy being very, well, he's white power, Jesus is king. He's basically MAGA but with bad teeth. Yeah, you can choose who to spend time with. That's the one upside of being an adult. Other than at work, you don't have to spend time with people you don't like. But yeah, so it's MAGA with bad teeth, dude. Want to be Proud Boy. That kind of person. Well, Mr. Big Man was still living at home with Mummy and Daddy, and they overheard him filming a video and having one of his rants, and they listened in to what he was talking about and what he was saying about people of different ethnicities and races and genders, and didn't like what they heard. So they threw him out of the house on the spot. And all of a sudden, Mr. Big Tough, Ruffy Tufty, I'm right about everything, you have to believe me, I'm talking the truth, it suddenly becomes the little boy that he really is. Because Mummy and Daddy had just thrown him out and gone, yep, you're no son of ours. We didn't raise you that way. Prime example of suddenly finding out there are consequences for what you do and say in this world. Some people really don't like. I mean, I know I say some pretty inflammatory stuff, but it usually either comes from a joke, in which people who know me know it's a joke, or it's pretty much just echoing what most people think. The other one I had a good laugh at this week, the DoorDash girl. If you've been on social media or anything lately, you'll be familiar. It's the one who was doing her delivery, and the delivery said, "No, just leave it by the door. That's what, just leave it by the door, and I'll come get it when I'm ready." And she noticed that the door was open, so she got her phone out and she started filming. I think she might have already been filming. And she pushed the door open further, sees the guy sleeping nude on his couch, and carries on filming, then leaves, goes and reports him to DoorDash and reports him to the police for SA, and then gets really confused and can't understand why she's the one who then, nothing happens to him because he's done nothing wrong. And yeah, she's been charged with, I think, 2 or 3 felonies. And has been in court. So that's going to be funny to see. Hopefully she gets what she deserves, which is more than a slap on the wrist and being told not to do it again. We can check his mind with his family now. Yeah, good question. I mean, Another one that always makes me chuckle is the whole grandparents' rights thing, where they think they have a right to spend time with their grandchild. It's like, well, let's look at this objectively. The reason you're probably not getting time to spend with your grandchild is probably because the child's parents don't trust you with them, or you've done something to make them go non-contact with you, which is a pretty good reason to not let. Making toffee. I've listened to Handle before. Don't burn your fingers. If you're anything like me, that's a guarantee what you're gonna do. All right. Yeah, it can't be that hot. Yeah, no, that's not that hot to touch. Oh crap! It's melting. It's molten sugar. It's stuck to my finger. It's not coming off. Ah! And yeah, that's never good. A finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat. Oh God, that's an old jingle. I'm just glad I didn't sing the version we normally sang when we were at school. Although there is someone at work who keeps putting that bloody Christmas station on the radio. But everyone likes Christmas songs. No, they don't. Probably only you. So what I do now is I just sing along with my own lyrics. Or point out the obvious flaws in their lyricism. I have also noticed lots of Christmas songs make Mummy out to be rather loose-moralled. There's lots of mothers getting caught doing kissy kisses with Santa. And they never in the lyrics go, but it's okay because it was just my dad in a suit. Or what was really weird is it turned out it was my creepy uncle in a suit. Probably more likely, let's be honest. It was Uncle Jeffrey, honest. Ho, 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 little girl, what do you want for Christmas? Allow me to empty my sack for you. Oh, geez, that got dark fast, didn't it? Oh, mental note. Don't make Epstein Christmas jokes. Yes, what else we got to waffle about? Yeah, so we've got a few more, well, completely NSFW diamond paintings coming in from Shein. Should probably be here tomorrow. Be something to look forward to when I get home from work. And then so I think I might start getting sort of a set going of various cryptids. So obviously you can have Bigfoot, Dogman, Mothman, Jersey Devil. I've already got one of Black Shuck. I've already got one of Black Panther, which is technically a cryptid in the UK. Yes, we've got them roaming wild, but there's never been any real obvious proof. Well, not enough proof for people who don't believe that there might be big cats roaming wild in the UK. A small breeding colony. No, it gets too cold for them. They live in Africa. You do realise Africa gets cold as well, right? It's not constantly baking hot. And these are wild animals. They know how to stay warm when they need to. Yeah. Well, I've never seen one. I've never seen sign of one, but I'm just going to go on there. Gut feeling and instinct that, yeah, there probably are some. It's just that they're really good at hiding from people. Like most wild animals are. And most cryptids, which I'm going to presume most cryptids that aren't pure folklore. Mary Crumble Deli, how are you? Heard about the Bondi Beach mass pew pew. Any news on what happened or who or anything like that yet? Obviously, aside from it being absolutely horrendous and horrific. Oh, don't tell me that's made it to the UK, but you haven't heard about it yet. There was a mass pew pewing in Bondi, and 12 people have been exed. Was the last I heard, anyway. I mean, no sort of details of whys and wherefores, but they tend not to worry about that instantly. Always BS in Bondi stuff. Bondi. Yes, and to my American friends, yes, that spelling is pronounced Bondi, not Bondi. Bondi is spelt with a Y. So if someone please tell Pam that she's pronouncing her name wrong. That would be rather nice. certain. Yeah. Authorities use it as media gaslighting. Yeah, well, can't let the masses come together. Because, that they might realise that they're all just normal, everyday people, slightly different beliefs and cultures, but other than that, pretty much the same. And because if they do that, then they might band together and they might go, hang on, let's get rid of these people that are in charge. They say power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And then you add a senile old fart to the mix, and whether it happens before digital ID and currency is introduced. Well, digital currency is just a really bad idea because actual money, printed notes, coins, money, is a way that national mints can control inflation. If you've got deflation, they can print more money. If you've got inflation, they can print less money, which makes the money worth more or worth less. And it's a way to help fix those problems. So if you take the money away entirely, yeah, we're not. They say it, but we're not. I mean, yeah, they say, oh, it's more efficient, but no, it's just so the government can keep track of every penny. Because if there's a cash transaction, there's a chance that they're not getting their tax from it. And let's be honest, if cash goes the way of checks, and I therefore cannot get money for my fish when I breed them and sell them, I won't be doing the breedies anymore. Because it's just not financially worthwhile to do. Because I don't want to be stuck paying to heat and feed and do water changes and filter and light. All those fry rack tanks, if they're not paying their way. I know that's a bit cold-hearted way of putting it, but if I took having to maintain, feed, water change, blah blah blah, those tanks out of the equation, yeah, it'd make a difference. Hell, I'd be able to go be able to go back to buying algae wafers in normal size packets. Yeah. To be honest, I think the only people in favour of going cashless are the young uns who just pay for everything on their phone. Right? But what happens if the power goes out or the internet goes down or you can't get mobile signal or there's just no Wi-Fi or yeah, what happens then? If everything is electronic and digital and the electronics goes away, you can't do or pay for anything. So you need cash. It was bad enough at work when the guys building new houses down the street put an excavator blade through our internet cable. And for 6 days, we didn't have access to the internet or be able to take card payments without using the old crunch machines, which is kind of annoying, but you know, those of us of a certain age are used to them. We know how they work, so it's not too difficult. The only problem is, these days, on a lot of cards, they don't actually emboss the name, the number, the account number, the expiry date, blah, blah, blah. My new card, it isn't embossed, it's printed on, which means you can't use those machines unless you sit there and you write the damn thing down by hand. And that's just going to ask for trouble because people do make mistakes when they're writing things down, especially long strings of numbers. Yeah, I say people who want to go cashless society, how lucky? Yeah, lucky is still lucking. He's still trundling about in the pond. I say he. I don't know whether it's male or female because we've got baby comets in there that are well the same coloration. So it's either the mother or the father. So yes, lucky is being parental. Well, producing offspring, probably eating most of them. But yeah, all the committees are doing well. They're all live and swimming. Well, it's that time of year now where I don't see them very much because they spend their time at the bottom of the pond where it's a couple of degrees warmer. But the water does clear up, so therefore I can actually see further down. Ooh. Yeah, need nicotine. Yeah, that's. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So if we get a few mild days, I will get out into the garden and pull some more weeds and stuff out, because just stay ahead of things mainly. I know it shows you how weird the weather's been over here this year. A lot of the spring bulbs I planted, like the crocuses, are already up. The grape hyacinths are already up. Snowdrops haven't come up yet, and they should be the first ones, but yeah, it'll be. Although randomly, I've got a gladioli that's decided to flower again. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, having a gladioli outside in flower in December, very strange experience. They normally flower in August. So it's either very warm and happy or got a bit confused. Um, you know, the reason I'm doing this little kingfisher is because I realised yesterday I had to finish the one I was doing previously and get it off the bench because it's very not safe for work. It's a full nude. And it was like, oh crud, what can I do? What can I do? Something quick and simple. And so I went with this one. So I'm just trying to debate and think what to do next. Because I should be able to get. This isn't going to take me long to finish. So yes, I should have my she in order here by then. So probably going to be something very not safe for work again. Or it might be the guy in the red suit. Well, the red suit of power armor, carrying a chain axe called Gore Child and a plasma pistol atop a pile of skulls and blood. He's wearing a red suit, so he's Christmassy. You know, someone special flying from the UK. Ooh, for Christmas. Ooh, very exciting. This would be your new man, I take it? Although not so new now. It's been a while. Yes, indeed. Oh, congratulations. I shall keep my fingers crossed that all goes well. And that he doesn't turn out to be 4'11". Hello. Yeah, but since when did I care about upsetting people, Delhi? Since when did I worry overly about being offensive? $5.90. So, still a short king then. How you going? Ugh. I say I'm only 3 inches taller. So I do make one of the three criteria for a modern woman, apparently. Yeah, don't take it seriously. Yeah, well, yeah, only equal yourself. Pocket sized. That's how I work with somebody who's 4'11". She's perfect for just leaning on. Just put my elbow on her shoulder and lean there. Only if you want to call it a small package. Um, yeah, before I dig myself a bigger hole. That pun was not intended. Somewhat arrest the pint pot. Yeah, it's not a pint. I don't do alcohol. I've done far more than enough throughout the first quarter of my exit, well, first half of my life. And the reason I'm on the Monster is because there's no Relentless in the UK at the moment. Apparently, everywhere's sold out. Probably because no one can afford Monster anymore. Yeah, a T-shirt I saw that I might have to get. It was something along the lines of, "You find it offensive, I find it funny. That's why I'm happier than you." I thought, yeah, that sums me up pretty much perfectly. But then I grew up with a black and white minstrel show. Oh, you'd never see that on TV these days. Yeah, exactly. And when Relentless is usually like 350 for a 4 pack, and Monster is like 550. It's like, yeah, no wonder in this day and age why people aren't buying Monster, or why they're buying more Relentless. Um, I mean, I'm buying the Alf Garnet too. Oh yeah, till death do us part. Or Ain't Half Hot Mum. If anything, that was worse than the black and white minstrels. Um, if you're not familiar, the black and white minstrels were a musical troupe that would appear on, well, they actually had their own TV show, but then other than that, they'd been like variety shows on a Saturday evening or whatever on TV. Um, they're all white men, all in blackface. Yeah, that wouldn't be allowed these days, would it? next. Yeah, collecting the gollies with the jam. Yeah. The thing is, we didn't think of it as being a racial thing. It was just and we didn't call it a golly back then either. We called it by its full name. It was just the character from the jam pots. There wasn't anything more to it than that. It was like the thing with taking Uncle Ben off the Uncle Ben's packaging. Why is that racist? Why is it racist to have a friendly looking, smiling, happy black man on the packaging? I mean, I could understand if he was like in chains or something, but it's inclusive. Yeah, exactly. He was a. I don't know if he was a real man. I presume he probably was at some point, but that's one of those who beloved. Uncle Ben, he was just a picture on the rice. So now it's called Uncle Ben's, but it hasn't got Uncle Ben on it. So it may just be called rice. Just call it rice. Be done with it. Although that's probably cultural appropriation for British people to eat rice. What do you mind as? Yeah, the pancakes. Yeah. The thing is, you just know it wasn't people of colour or ethnicities that were complaining about it. It was probably middle class white people who just tried to claim it was racist because they didn't like having a picture of a black person on their food. Maybe tell them they're not allowed to listen to rock, rap, blues, gospel. Anything like that, because that's all of a black origin. Yeah, offended on behalf of other people who aren't offended. Yeah, these people aren't upset that this is happening. We must be upset for them. No, if they're not upset, just leave it be. What next? Having a Scotty dog on a packet of shortbread? Oh, we can't be doing that. Oh no, that's racist against the Scottish. What? Oh, that's basically what it is. You just sit there going, oh, what? Someone please make this make sense. You sit there thinking, oh, I must be missing something here. There must be something, some piece of the puzzle that I've missed. Seems all have stags on now. Yeah. Stick a jackalope on there, that'd be funny. Let's see someone get offended about a completely fictional creature. It reminds me of the whole satanic panic thing in the 80s. Where people just got completely the wrong idea and they just Yeah, they've got no idea about what's actually being said or done. They don't like it, so they see it as bad. And got Marks and Spencer's biscuits. Oh dear, they're not just biscuits; they're M&S biscuits. Yeah, they're the same biscuits you probably get from Lidl or Aldi or Tesco, just with slightly posher pictures on the packaging. I mean, it's all butter shortbread. It's basically butter, sugar, and flour. How can you have a better version of it? It's literally like 3 ingredients. Be offensive to cryptids, corporations to call the blackface or fucking whitewashing of the grocery aisle. Yeah, yeah. We're getting rid of all the racist stuff. We're just making everything white. Okay. What next? Brown bread. All good with a mug of tea. Yeah. It's not racist at all. Sarcasm. Exactly. By trying to virtue signal that they're not racist, they're being racist. You couldn't make it up, could you, really? So determined to not be seen as being racist that you're going to be racist. It's like starting a sentence off with, I'm not a racist, but you know whatever's going to come out of the person's mouth next is going to be racist. I mean, yeah, I hate the French, but that's just a national thing. Yeah, I don't mean to be offensive, but exactly. Well, that's because you come from good British stock, you see. Back when your ancestors had no idea what a galah was, they were probably at war with the French. Oh, I've done the wise, haven't I? Yeah. I'm sure if you went back far enough down your family tree, you'd find someone who originally came from the UK. But then if we go far enough back down our family trees, mathematically speaking, everyone on the planet is related. If you go back literally just as far as Charlemagne, it's been a disagreement or at war with the French for over 500 years. Yeah, and 107 of those years was one war. Which was, typical. Don't want to go through that rabbit hole. Yeah, that was one of the things I did have. I mean, I know I don't exactly get inundated with sponsorship stuff or whatever. Probably because it's just my sense of humour and the fact that I'll tell the truth. Yeah, what was it called? One Ancestry. It was one of those genealogy sites. It was like, here, you give us a big up and we'll give you free access. I was like, yeah, I really don't want to know where my family comes from. Because I'm pretty sure there's probably some really nasty, dark stuff back there. Not too far back either. Well, good luck tracing my dad's side of the family. Because my dad's dad wasn't his dad. And nobody knows who my dad's dad actually was. So, yeah. So, my grandmother on that side was a bit of a, a hussy, shall we say. I think we can get away with saying that one. Or slapper. I don't think that is universally known for what it means. A lady of loose morals. Given the timeline, it would have been shortly after World War II, so it's probably a serviceman from somewhere. Yes, slapper. Oh, we know where that one comes from. If you want to get really gross. Yeah. Yeah. If she descends the stairs too quickly, she claps on the way down. I believe was one of the old ones. Yeah. Oh, where'd the K's go? Oh, I've lost the bag. VILIOAX. Oh, we need J's anyway. HRP 5. Yeah, that's the case. Me putting the number on the bag rather than the letter. Whistles on a windy day, and that's the one. Got a fanny like a wizard's sleeve. Yeah, I killed Adele. So let's put the right thing on that bag. Now I can finish this row off. Yeah. Got a funny feeling this one's not going to take me too long to do. I say that and I realise I just missed a patch over there. Never mind. They're all different ones. That is the problem with when you get the confetti going on. I mean, this pastime does have one bonus upside to it. If ever I decide to get into illicit substances, I'm going to be really good at opening and closing little baggies or Ziploc bags. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, that's how much black there is in this one. Yeah, we have I've literally just done the first, what I call 2 rows. So the first 20, not that it's actually going to show up very well, because there's going to be all sorts of glare on it, and if I tip it far enough forward to avoid the glare, let's maybe get it real close. That way. So the closer you get, the worse they look. But, thank you. I mean, it's basically just pixel art, so like old computer game, where if you look close, it was just seriously pixelated, but from a good distance away, it actually looked quite good. Whereas these days, they look so good, you can't bloody see what's what on the screen. And 10. Yeah, so the way I do it is I do rows of 10 rows at a time. So it'll be a strip of 10 rows, but however wide. And then when I get to a point where usually just past halfway, but on a square like this, I might, at whatever time I do it, it's going to work. I'll then flip it sideways and start working up until that distance is less than that distance. And then, so I usually just end up with a little narrow strip to finish up at the end. So it's like the first part takes the time and then it just gradually goes faster and faster. Because generally by the time I flip it onto its side for the first time, I'm basically halfway done. And bear in mind, I only started this morning and I hadn't even done the first set. So, what are we now? Half hour more. So I'll probably get like the black for this row done. And then call it quits for this evening before I go get something to eat. Do I need something to eat? Probably not, but I do have a nice chunk of Santagur in the fridge that I can munch on quite happily. Energy drinks and soft blue cheese just before bedtime. Gonna have some good dreams tonight. And if they're a continuation of last night's dreams, then I'll be quite happy. Toffee done. No one was injured. Result. Woohoo! I'm presuming getting it ready for Christmas. Christmas. Xmas. Yule. Whatever you want to call it. Toffee is scary, exactly. Oh, it's better than fudge. Well, I mean, fudge is better for your teeth. But the problem with fudge is there are people who work in fudge factories, and their job is to put the fudge into boxes. And you know what? Like Christmas crackers. But yeah, you know the job title of the people who put the fudge in the boxes. Yeah, their job title is fudge packer. And if you're not aware of the level of that slur, I mean, there is a fudge factory not far from me, and this is many years ago, but they had multiple vacancies because obviously coming up to this time of year, and they sell a lot more fudge than usual. So they literally had the sign on the gate, fudge packers wanted. Bless them. I don't think they realised. I mean, at least it wasn't a landscaping company looking for people who specialise in sloping gardens. Close to Harrogate. Yes, it's pronounced Harrogate. Americans, not Harrogate. Make Farrow's toffee always advertising for seasonal fudge packers. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's completely innocent. But, yeah, they have to know what they're putting up there. As they get people flouncing in for the interview. Oh yeah. No, that's not quite what we had in mind. But again, it's the kind of job that I think everyone has to have at the start of their working life. So I'm absolute. I'm not. Don't mean this offensively to the people who do these jobs because we need them to do those jobs, and thank you very much for doing them. I think most of them are Polish and Bulgarian now. But it's that kind of complete repetitive. You're stood in the same place for 8 hours a day doing exactly the same thing, and you've got to keep up a certain speed. and it's just drudge hell. I think everyone needs a job like that at least once. I don't mean for a couple of weeks until they can't stick it, like for a year or so. Then do a year in retail. And then move on to what it is you might actually want to do. Started a career in bakery and qualified as a master baker. Very cool. I used to be a fisherman, so I qualify as a master baiter. Yes, I have that t-shirt. It has a catapult and some maggots on it. It's in the bottom of my wardrobe somewhere because people got offended by it too much. Make it a couple of years in retail for full effect. Yeah, you got to go through at least 2 Christmases. Just so you can realise just how hellish it can be. Which is another reason why I love my current job, because yes, it's retail, but we're dead over Christmas. It might not pick up until late January. Usually the thing is that we're dead from pretty much now all the way through till people getting paid in January. That's just the way it is. Black Friday's not really that much of a thing. Well, not in the UK anyway. I mean, we have it, but again, I think it's with the general world economy the way it is at the moment that people aren't rushing out to buy everything. Yeah, end of financial year sales. Yeah, I think ours works out as, I don't think week 52 is end of December. Might be. I can never remember, but I mean, we did, yeah, we did really well on the Black Friday sales. We actually won the prize for the region for the most sales on the Black Friday products. There's only a certain number of lines, but yeah, I think there was 4 other local branches. I say local, 4 branches in the same county. And there were a lot more branches than that, but we had to go and rob stock from because we just kept selling out of everything. Yeah, so that won us a team prize, which we're going to be splitting up into gift cards. So it basically works out as a 20 quid gift card each. I just hope it's not one of those ones like I got the last time, where you activate it online and you can choose from like 300 different places that you can spend your gift card at. And literally the only place on the list of 300 that I could find was Marks and Spencer's to get Mary a bra for her birthday. It went towards that. literally out of the 300 places listed, none of them I would shop at. No, the only other one on there I would shop at would be Go Outdoors, but it's frigging December. Why would I want camping gear? Besides, I've already got all the camping gear. I don't need anything else. Now, on the bras front, I've got the right sizes. They fit properly. Uh, but yeah, so literally. Well, it's a lot easier when you just ask what size or get told what size. Um, and then when you don't just go for that size, you you select the item of clothing, and then you look at the reviews because they'll say whether they come true to size, they're too small, they're too big, and then something like Braziers, you have to kind of think about. Well, a lot of women don't actually know what their size actually is. They're probably still wearing the same size they were 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Yeah, definitely more than a good handful. Uh, yeah, it's one of those things that changes throughout life. Like, the closest as a dude we get is when we put on or lose weight is we might need a couple of inches bigger or smaller in the waist on our trousers. If it's in the smaller scale, then we just do our belt up a bit tighter. And if it's bigger, then well, we just leave the button undone and hook an elastic band through it. Thanks for reminding me I need to get measured up. Um, I think the oldie might be the size. Sorry, shouldn't make jokes about things like that. That is inappropriate, Sharpe. Lose a 15 more kilo, I'll get a dress. You can have a dress anyway. Or do you just not want to be getting it from certain outlets that sell certain sizes only? Or as the old joke used to be, what was it? She's so fat she buys her dresses at Millets. Millets used to be a camping supplies store, inferring that it's a tent. Um, ooh, yeah, I'm trying not to imagine that. Yeah, yeah, you can both be active for me. I've done my activity for my life. That 100+ mile bike ride for my 48th birthday was a really bad idea. Now at 220, you're almost me sized. Oh, so you should be. You're going to be a wee slip of a lass. Yeah. You got 10 Ks on me. Right, when you ride your bike, I think you're ahead. Well, this last year, I've pretty much just rode it to work every day, 4 days a week, which is like 9 miles a week. So yeah, that's not exactly a workout. Well, judging by what I've experienced at work recently, I've got more muscle than young lads who go to the gym and talk about their gains and what they lift and their protein and all this stuff. You know, when they're struggling to pick something up and you go, get out of the way, I got it. And he's up you get. Ow. Yes, that was my knee hitting the bench, particularly pokey, sticky, outy part of the bench as well. I can lift this much, and you go, yeah, but that's with perfect positioning and it's perfectly balanced and with a nice, easy grip to hold on to. Yeah, now try doing it with something massively unbalanced. And people go, but Sharpie, why is your back messed up? What did you do? Well, I did lifting and shifting of heavy stuffs for a long time. And my body finally went, nope, we no likey this no more. But then when you're regularly flinging, and you're probably not going to believe this for a weight, but we did actually check it. When you're flinging waterlogged pallets around above head height, you're making stacks of them 15, 16 high. And when they're waterlogged, they weigh 50 kilos. That may put things into perspective. And when you bear in mind what my shoulders are like, that's pretty impressive. And the fact that my wrists are mullered as well. But yeah, definitely you should be proud of yourself, Deli. You've come a long way. You'll be in the Pirelli calendar in no time. This is flown by. What the heck have I been waffling on about for the last nearly 2 hours? Probably mostly things that people would go, oh, you can't say that, you'll get demonetized. Oh, you'll get a content strike. Life begins at 40. Chop my hair off for the 40th. Ooh. Well, that'll be a couple of pound as well. You've got a lot of floof there. You'll probably stand ½ inch taller. Just please don't go for the Karen pixie cut. Donating the hair to make wigs for kids. Should be a good batch of toffee made while having international conversations. There you go, you can sell it. Mike's International Toffee. And I'd like to live stream it. Shoulder length would be good, which is kind of about the length mine is. What's left of it. Oh, come here, you escapees. You will need to buy yourself a scarf, though, because you will notice that your neck and head get much colder. Well, that's what I've found in the past when I've had my hair lopped off. Oh, pardon me. Oh, and again. Got enough floof. It's like 30 degrees. Yeah, exactly. You'll be happy for a cooler head. Bound by my mother's stipulations when the recipe was handed over, it's a secret retirement plan. Sells better than fish. Well, yeah, most things sell better than fish. And most people can actually look after fudge. It's kind of scary how many people still think they're doing really well when they keep a fish alive for more than a couple of weeks. And then you get those of us who keep many, many fish, and usually they just die of old age, like Bert did. And he's so alien having a summer Christmas. Flying last minute Christmas Day. Oh. Guarantee the plane's going to be full of screaming kids then. Actually, I did see a Christmas jumper sweater that I nearly thought might be worth wearing. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, and it's just a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer. Work won't give me any time off before Christmas, so Christmas Eve it is. Yeah, unfortunately, whatever you do this time of year, getting time off is always a pig. Hence why I've got Christmas week next year already booked off. I think I booked it in like October. Oh, pardon me. I appear to have developed wind this evening. Oh dear, what a shame. Hopefully it will last until tomorrow. And I can stink people out at work. I know it's childish, but one of my favourite ones is to has nothing to do with the energy drinks. It doesn't actually. It's probably the egg custards I had earlier. Yeah, I say I know it's childish, but I do enjoy when I wander behind one of my colleagues when they're serving a customer, slip one out quietly, and just walk off and stand somewhere out of view of the customer where I can see my colleague and watch them trying to continue serving without coughing or gagging or. Yes, I know it's childish, but crop dusting should be illegal. 6.5 hour Manchester to Doha, 40 hours, 7 minutes from Doha. Ooh. And they don't even have a smoking section anymore. So they don't have to refilter the air, which means you're going to be surrounded by other people's BO and stale farts in a tin can for 20 hours. Yeah, good luck. Actually, one of the even funnier than the crop dusting. Oh, it shouldn't laugh so much, but hey. Oh, it is funny. So when you do the hide just out of sight, so the customers can't see you and they don't know you're there, and then you rip one out loud. Oh, pardon me again. Oh dear. What does it say about me that I find farts so hilarious? That I haven't grown up yet? Which, let's be honest, we all know I haven't. I know I haven't grown up because I still haven't. Never grow up. Yeah, the only difference between men and boys is the size and price of the toys. That is the old saying. Yeah, I know I've not grown up because I still haven't figured out what I want to do when I am grown up. You know, when I figure out what job I want to do when I grow up, that's when I'll be grown up. There's not really anything that I've ever thought, oh, I'd love to do that. Not like some of these young'uns these days who have their career path mapped out by the time they're 17. Can't not laugh to save my life. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you literally have to. There's no way of avoiding it, but I'm just glad I can't smell anything, because otherwise I'm pretty sure I'd gas myself out on a regular basis. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish off this section of blacks before I do shut the stream down. There's not many more to do. I saw Mummy blowing Santa Claus. Have you ever noticed how Chris Rea's two biggest hits, Driving Home for Christmas and The Road to Hell, I've got a feeling they might be connected. Everyone likes their own brand. Don't know, I've never smelt it. This is one of the reasons why I bought a house that doesn't have gas. Because I have no sense of smell. Never have done. So if there's a gas leak, I can't smell it. And I smoke. So what would have happened, and you can guarantee it, there would have been a gas leak. I wouldn't have smelt it. I would have got up in the morning, had a pee, and then lit the first ciggy of the day and blown my house up and myself. So yeah, I just figured, just for safety's sake, it's best to not have gas in the house. Also means you don't get any carbon monoxide either if you're not burning fossil fuels. Anosmia, that's the one. My nose is literally just there for holding my specs up, because most of the time I can't even breathe through it. Yeah, it got me in trouble as a kid because, I didn't know that things like smoke smell. So have a den with your buddies and you'd have a fire. Well, I didn't realise when I got home I stank of smoke. How am I supposed to? No one told me. I didn't even realise farts smelt until people started reacting to them. But anyway, I reckon that's enough for one day. Had enough of me waffling. I got to go and eat my cheese while I cut some cheese as well. So, yeah, thanks everyone for popping by. Same time next week, 6 till 8. Have a good week. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I know that doesn't cut it down much. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do.